It's been 4 months since the Galaxy Fold 7 launched and 4 months since my initial review, and this is usually the moment where the excitement has already worn off, the little annoyances have all shown themselves, and you really discover what a phone is actually like to live with. And the Fold 7 is one of those devices that really felt futuristic on day one, really cutting edge, but has that impression stood the test of time? I've been daily driving the Fold 7 while keeping my Fold 6 handy for reference, so here's what aged well, what didn't age so well, and where Samsung needs to go next. The first thing that still impresses me every single day is just how thin the Galaxy Fold 7 is. The Fold 6, not that bad, especially if you don't use a case, but the Fold 7 continues to be unsurpassed in just how sleek and sophisticated it is. Back when I reviewed it 4 months ago, I said that it'll probably be leapfrogged very soon, but that still hasn't happened. And it continues to be that design leader that it was 4 months back. This razor-thin profile makes the whole experience with the phone feel more premium, more modern, so yeah, I still get these little wow moments every once in a while with the Fold 7. The reduced weight has been another improvement that continues to pay dividends. I personally don't enjoy that heavy phone feeling when you put it in your pocket and it feels like it's actively trying to, pull your pants down, but the Fold series has always been guilty of that, along with many other phones. But the Fold 7 is breaking that vicious cycle because it genuinely feels way more manageable, and I definitely noticed the difference as I switch back and forth between the 7 and the 6. Bigger screens on foldables are always welcome, but the real win for the Fold this year was the crease, that it's finally gone. And as much as we could take that for granted, switching between the Fold 6 and the 7, it's made it very clear to me that life without the crease is way better. Not that the little crease on the Fold 6 ruins anything, even writing with the S Pen, by the way, but I'll get to that later. But it's just cooler and cleaner and has that more complete sense to the design. Now, people have always complained about the small and narrow cover screens on Samsung foldables, and the Fold 7 was the one to finally fix that issue completely without any compromises. The reality is that there's something to be said about the Fold 6 and its compact footprint when closed. That's cool until it isn't, or more precisely until you want to write a longer message using the on-screen keyboard on the cover screen. And that is something that I've been really enjoying on the Fold 7, just the ease with which you can type and make all kinds of operations on its wider cover display. Like, I've been making way less typos and missteps with the Fold 7, and that has equaled lower levels of stress and irritation in my life, which is, well, it's a good thing. But honestly, I feel like this 6.5-inch size is the sweet spot. To me at least, any wider than that and the phone would become a bit too big, a bit too uncomfortable to deal with in everyday situations. Now, in terms of the camera, I don't have too much to say about it. It's been getting the job done. I'm not the biggest camera nerd, but at that point though, I think that the main camera handles itself very well most of the time, but the zoom leaves a lot to be desired, especially when shooting inside or at low light. There's just a lot of noise visible. It just cannot deliver those shots that are both high detailed and clean at the same time. And that seems to be a theme a little bit with the Fold 7's camera overall, I think. So I think Samsung should look into its processing a little bit more and try to enhance the look of its shots that way, because we obviously don't want a gigantic camera bump. Of course, not everything has been smooth sailing. There are some notable drawbacks that I've experienced. Probably the biggest gripe is the lack of S Pen support. I get why Samsung removed it, wanted to catch up and surpass the competition in terms of thinness, so it had to make a compromise and remove the digitizer screen layer that's needed for the S Pen to work. But here's the problem. This is the first fold with a big, flat, creaseless display. Super nice, smooth and beautiful, and this is the year the S Pen is gone. Not cool, not cool, and no, you cannot replace that with generic styluses or with those soft rubber tips or those fake Bluetooth ones with sharp tips. Try them all, they just don't work and they're nowhere near close to the responsiveness or the precision of a proper S Pen. So I didn't pay too much attention to that back when I first reviewed the Fold 7, but now I've realized that, maybe I would have sacrificed some of that thinness in order to keep the S Pen, because there just aren't any legit workarounds at that point aside from maybe buying a Galaxy Tab. So I really hope they bring it back next year, but here's another one, which is DeX. So let's talk about DeX on One UI 8. When the Fold 7 launched, it came with One UI 8 and DeX suddenly felt more limited. Afterwards, Samsung did fix a couple of major early issues like the difficulty of forcing apps into full screen mode, but the experience to this day continues to lag behind what DeX used to be in One UI 7. If Samsung wants DeX to stay relevant, and I think it should because it's such a unique selling point, they need to stop walking it back and start doubling down on it. And I really think it doesn't need a lot of work to become great. 4 months after its debut, the new DeX needs to start remembering window sizes and positions again, and it needs better personalization when it comes to keyboard shortcuts and many other things as well, but I think these are the biggest ones to fix right now. The Fold 7 hasn't given me any major battery issues, but there have been more than a few nights where I ended the day at around 15 to 20% of battery, and that's getting it dangerously close for my taste at least. So it's not bad, but it's one of those weaker points. If there's one clear improvement I want for the Fold 8, aside from bringing back the S Pen, it's a next-gen battery which will have a bigger capacity while keeping the weight down. It's possible, others have done it. So after 4 months, the Galaxy Fold 7 still feels like Samsung's most refined foldable ever. There's no question about that design-wise. It's a great upgrade for Fold 4 and even Fold 5 users, but those who have the Fold 6, I think you guys are perfectly fine. You can just wait for next year, especially if you really don't want to lose access to the S Pen. Aside from that, the super thin design, the lighter weight, the creaseless main display have all aged beautifully with no problems whatsoever. I think nobody has been able to leapfrog Samsung with the Fold 7 yet, in these categories at least, especially in the US market. So far, so good for Samsung, and they've also been doing a great job with the software updates since release. So if you're new to the foldable market, yes, now is actually a great time to get the Galaxy Fold 7 because it won't be replaced anytime soon, and it's now available at much better prices than at launch. It used to start at about $2,000, but now you can get it for like $1,600 this shopping season, and that's even without any trade-ins. If you do a trade-in, it's going to be even cheaper. So thank you for watching this review. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to share more in-depth impressions after using the Fold 7 even longer. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.